Okay, well, I'm Joe Smo, and I'm the one that organizes this shit. Which one are you guys?
I'm Sean. I'm loud, opinionated, and unnecessarily knowledgeable about analytics.
Yeah, but you guys say, like, I'm the one that is this. That's our.
I'm the loud one.
There we go. Matt, go.
Alright, Matt. I'm the calm one, I think, called in the chat.
Yeah, you can be
I'm
whatever you want
also.
this week. Each week, we're gonna get a different adjective for ourselves.
Uh, yeah, I'll be calm this week, and maybe next week too.
I already know what I'm gonna
Um,
be next week.
that's.
He'll just find synonyms for calm. He'll just be tame next week.
Oh, thanks,
My.
Sean. I like that idea. I'm also a Jets fan, just putting that out there.
So, acceptance of poorness.
Of what?
I
Of,
don't.
of poorness.
Whoreness.
Poorness,
Okay.
yeah. This is my word next week.
Idiosyncratic.
That's my I'm gonna be in the idiosyncratic one next week.
Okay.
Okay. You guys know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of like
Why?
unique,
Why do you-
like what? Just the one that's kind of like an oddball. Like I'm the idiosyncratic one. Yeah.
like, why?
Because I found the word when I was listening to a song, and I'm like, that is a fucking great word. What does it mean? I want to use it. I'm like, idiosyncratic. That's me.
Just call yourself the weird one at that point.
No, idiosyncratic sounds smarter. Oh, I'm a bit idiosyncratic. You can say that on dating apps. When you're on dating apps, oh, I'm kind of weird. They're like, oh, you are? You say, I'm idiosyncratic, like, oh, so you're kind of
Listen,
unique
if
and
you're using that word,
mysterious.
you're the weird one anyway, aren't you?
I'm the weird one using big words. Yeah, what of it? What of it?
Oh, for God's sakes.
So let's start off with some injuries. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers with their
Bro, like,
lovely running back situation. I sent a picture of Aaron
you know what's
Jones.
weird? Last week it was the Giants with all the injury news. This year it's this week it's the Packers. I feel like most of the time injuries are like spread out in the preseason. Everybody's got somebody getting hurt. This year I feel like it's hitting singular teams really hard for like a week, and then it just disappears from that team.
Yeah, yeah. Wait. Oh, did you hear about Eli Manning throwing to Sterling
I
Shepard?
I, I did. Yeah, I did hear
He
about
threw
that.
it too hard. Oh wait, no, I
Um,
sent that to you guys. He threw a fastball to
it,
Sterling Shepard.
it's so funny. It's like there was another story earlier today that I read. I think it came out a few days ago though. But one of the Giants defenders, one of the guys that plays defense in scrimmages against Eli,
That's what a defender is.
say again.
You said a defender, the guy who played. I just thought I didn't know we were clarifying there.
Yeah, it was just one of the linebackers that's like on the first team scrimmage team for the Giants. He has to go up against Eli, but every time he tries to disguise what he's doing, Eli seems to pick it up like immediately. This is like everybody's praising Daniel Jones and everything, but this guy made it very clear like Eli's Eli's knowledge of the game is still on such a ridiculous level that he can be effective as long as the right plays are called.
Yeah, he needs a. He's not the best athlete anymore. It
I don't
doesn't
think he ever
mean
really
he's
was.
a still
He never was
fucking
late.
smart.
He just came up clutch in 2 roles. I mean, he's
Yeah,
a very good quarterback. I would like to have for a franchise, but he's not, this great athlete or anything.
yeah.
So you drafting him this
No,
year
I
in fantasy?
with that receiving core, absolutely not.
Oh my god! Not even with Odell.
With Odell, he put up some numbers. Like he wasn't an awful fantasy QB. Last year certainly not an example of that. He wasn't good last year at all. But at the same time, it's like I do think Eli is a potential, fantasy backup on a few teams. Uh, but I think he needs to prove it first. Like
Yeah.
I'm not drafting him. He might be a backup I pick up later in the season.
Odell?
No, no, no. Eli, I'm talking
Oh,
about.
Eli.
Oh, yeah.
Really? You'd pick him up at all?
Potentially, he's got to, like I said, he's got to prove it. But it's more like I think he could prove to be a worthwhile backup in deeper leagues. Definitely,
I mean, how deep of a league are you in besides?
a 10-team league, I could see Eli getting drafted
Yeah,
in
10
traditional
team, I
format.
guess. But like
10-team is pretty normal.
in our eight team league, where we have
Honestly,
typically a starter
Why
and
would you
back.
draft him in a 10-team league?
Who?
Why would you draft Eli in a 10-team league?
No, I don't think I'd draft him. Period, unless it was a really deep roster type of league. But what I'm saying is I could definitely see him putting up the numbers.
Oh,
Where a few weeks into the
I
season,
thought you
end
were
up
saying
picking
you were
him
going to
up.
draft him.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's not even on my list. He's not on my board. He's not on my draft.
Kyler Murray would come first, in my opinion.
The only
Honestly.
reason you pick Kyler over Eli is just because of potential.
Yeah,
Also,
but
actually, his
I don't.
running game.
It doesn't really matter though. Like we don't
He
even
has
know
no
how he's going to
receiving
perform at
core.
this level.
Wait,
His receiving core, his offensive line is
who
not
doesn't have a
great.
receiving core?
What, Kyler? I mean, he has what?
He is Fitzgerald,
sure.
Kirk, and two good rookies.
I
Rookies.
can't. I never judge it based on the rookies. Fitz is getting old. He
I'll
doesn't
give you
have much.
Fitz, but
What about Kirk? Christian Kirk.
he's
Yeah.
he's also very young.
Yeah, he still
the
had a
second
great.
year
He
ago?
had a great end of the season last year.
Okay,
And put
fine,
some
but
numbers up.
I also don't think Cliff Kingsbury is going to be this great coach that everyone says.
Nah, he's gonna be great in fantasy only. Because
Wait. I
What?
said the coach.
yeah, the coach is gonna be great in fantasy because he wants as many plays as possible, and that's all he's gonna be good at.
Yeah. But he was a 500 coach in college, and he had
Not
freaking
even.
not even, and he had Patrick Mahomes and Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield.
No. But the thing is, he said how many plays does he want a game? Like 300 or something plays? Not 300, but like 100 plus.
But that doesn't necessarily mean like if we're talking PPR, that's meaningful. But
Yeah.
in
But-
terms of actual volume of yardage, that's not necessarily going to mean anything. Hell, if he wants just pure volume of plays, he's going to run the ball more than he's going to pass,
I
which
mean,
doesn't
also-
help PPR either.
His plays per game are going to be very heavily increased because he has a shit defense too, for the most part, except for Chandler Jones and Patrick
Yeah.
Peterson.
But that's what I mean. Like plays per game doesn't actually mean much unless you do something with it in the first place. And volume of plays means each play is going to be short yardage. That's kind of the idea. It's supposed to be clock control.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that being too much of a fantasy advantage. It could be in PPR leagues, but not in traditional format.
Not in the standard.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is happening? Nick Bosa got injured today. Actually.
Yeah, I think they still need to declare severity. So I don't really have much to
it's
say
still
about
like
that yet.
he left the field.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just cautionary. I'm not gonna sweat that too much just yet.
Who is it?
What the hell?
Who is that?
What?
Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan's got a handlebar mustache now?
I think he's my new favorite player, minus JJ.
I mean, Terrence Fede though.
I know to the
Yeah.
Giants. That's good for us.
I'm
Ooh.
just happy you got signed, man.
Here's the big injury that everyone wants to know about from the
Oh,
cryotherapy.
Yeah.
So AB gets foot frostbite.
Well, it's
That's
but
right. Because he wore the
That's-
wrong shoes.
Just, oh god.
God damn it, AB.
I have no words. I honestly don't have anything to say about that. He's just dumb.
I can see Pittsburgh being better this year because of not having AB.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's
but
going
who's
to.
their number two?
What?
Who's their number two?
Yeah, but they function before they had Juju. They functioned without a number two.
They had
That's true.
Martavius Bryant.
He was
Yeah.
injured. He was injured and suspended a ton. I mean, I don't know. I think
So their number two, they actually signed a number two, Dante Moncrief.
Yeah, but he's He's more
they
injury
did? Oh.
prone than what's his name? Than who was that we were just talking about? Martavis Bryant.
Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, this guy's almost always injured. He had a great first season and then started getting injured. But when he's on the field, he's good. But he's injured. They do have Eli Rogers.
He's not hurt right now, though. Worth noting, by the way, he played in all 16 games last year. And between 2016 and 2017, he missed a total of 11 games, which is significant. But that's about a quarter of the time in between two seasons. His first couple of seasons, he didn't get hurt. And last year, he played all 16. So I'm not super worried about that.
Dante played all 16 last season?
Yes.
With only 48 receptions and 668 yards? That's not very...
It's about a number two. That's what you expect from a
that's 2.5.
Keep in mind who his quarterback was, too, by the way. 2.5 is probably,
you
yes.
look down on him?
But he had Bortles throwing to him, so at
Dante?
2.5... What?
Dante was there?
Moncrief played for the Jaguars last year.
I thought he was in Colts still.
No. He's 1 year removed from that. Or 2 years now.
Very pass-heavy up.
The Colts let him go after the injury-prone seasons he had.
Yeah.
It's not like he did a crazy amount last year to really earn that many looks, but I think he's a true number two, and he'll be very good as a number two in the Pittsburgh system.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's never been a volume scorer, though.
He's never been a big scorer, but if you look at his 2016 season, 9 games played, 30 receptions, 56 targets, 307 yards in 9 games, 7 touchdowns in that.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, his career high, it's crazy that his career high in touchdowns came in 2016 when he played his least games. At the same time, it's not like he put up all that much yardage. I think he just ended up being a red zone target.
Okay, I want you to answer this question. Who has played more games? Odell Beckham Jr. or who's the other? Sammy Watkins.
Throughout their whole careers?
Yes.
I believe Odell. Because Sammy Watkins, if you want to talk about injury-prone receivers...
Sammy Watkins had 62 games played. Odell, 59.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Watkins has been in the league longer.
You're right. That's
same year.
What going on. They were drafted the same year?
Yeah. 2014, 2013.
Were they really? Oh, I didn't realize that.
2014. They're both the same year, but Sammy Watkins has played more games. I learned that from the other podcasts I listened to. They're like, what the fuck?
I actually didn't realize that.
I mean, he's a lizard man.
It's not like Watkins has exactly played at a high level like people were expecting him to. So,
He had one good season or something like that, right?
Yeah, and it was largely just stat padding because he was on a bad team. At least that's kind of what I chalk it up to, because he just hasn't been able to reach that level again.
Yeah, I mean, he had for the first 2 seasons he played, he had 16 games played for 982 yards, 6 touchdowns. Second year was 13 games played, only 60 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Like, that sounds like a solid number 2 receiver. But
yeah, I would say so.
He was probably the number 1 at the time.
Yeah, he was not only number 1, there was nobody else there.
2015 Buffalo? What do you mean? They had all the great players, dude. 2015 Buffalo Bills.
Was Fitz on that team?
Who was on the team? Let me look it up.
Was
Fitzpatrick on that team?
Yeah.
For their quarterback, they had let me find this. The quarterbacks were Josh Johnson, EJ Manuel.
I think EJ Manuel started.
Tyrod.
Tyrod
that year.
Oh, no, Tyrod was on the team at that point, so he'd be the starter.
Wide receivers, dude? Dude, they had, like, Leonard Hankerson, Chris Hogan, Des Lewis, Walt Powell, Greg Salas, and Sammy Watkins. It's an amazing team, dude.
Well, in all fairness, Chris Hogan did end up being a half-decent receiver for the Patriots at one point.
But that's because you throw any guy on the Patriots, he ends up being half.
Any short white guy there, and he's great.
Honestly, though, fun fact: Julian Edelman is second all time in playoff receiving yards.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I wonder why.
He's a mediocre receiver in the regular season, but he plays
Yeah,
in so many. He plays in such a high volume of playoff games. He has all the yardage.
Do you guys think he's a Hall of Famer?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
He has
he's
the
not.
quantity because of the quarterback that's throwing to him, but he does not have the skill.
He's broken 1,000 yards like twice.
Yeah, like he's only good in the playoffs. Like they call him the powerhouse playoff hero type of person, and he is. He shows up in the playoffs, but nowhere else. And did you hear that they have an undrafted free agent wide receiver taking 1 reps on 2 wide receiver sets
I mean,
instead of N'Keal Harry, the person they drafted in the first round?
wow.
Who's this? The Patriots?
Yeah, they have an undrafted free agent just taking first team reps.
Everything I always, before a season starts and even during the regular season, I always I look at the Patriots and I'm just like, you can't win the Super Bowl this year. You've got no talent. And then Tom Brady decides to tell me to fuck off.
He really does, but the thing is, they don't have a tight end.
I mean, with how hurt Gronk was a lot of the time, half the time they didn't have a tight end anyway.
I guess.
Yeah, but they had a tight end in the playoff.
Yeah.
Of course, this last Super Bowl wasn't exactly let's see the offense show up. It was more.
Shit, I hated it.
Yeah, it was. It might have been the worst Super Bowl of all time, honestly.
Right after one of the best Super Bowls ever, you mean?
I know, it's so disappointing. What a letdown.
Like, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm like, oh, the Eagles won the best Super Bowl ever. But, like, it was just the back-to-back scoring.
I hated both teams in the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl, and I still have to admit that was a great goddamn Super Bowl.
It was just so everywhere.
I enjoyed watching that, despite the agony I was in. All right, that's a great sign that it's a great Super Bowl.
Anyone else get injured this week?
Probably.
There's a lot of times there's too many to count. I do actually want to go back to something we were talking about before with the Steelers, because honestly they're such an interesting team this year, and I forget which one of you said it, but like, are they going to be better or worse without AD? And it's a tough question to answer, but last season was such a disappointment. I feel like they're going to improve just by accident.
What was their whatever last year?
Was it 9-6-1, I believe?
That's what I
Not bad.
I mean,
They tied the Browns.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, hang on a second. Yes, 9-6-1.
I mean, who do they have at quarterback? They still have
It's still
Ben.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, they still have Ben.
He's fine.
Running back,
Connor's
they have
a fine running back.
James Conner.
He's
James
fine running
James
back.
Conner, and let's not forget that Jalen Samuels, because James Conner was hurt for a little bit last year, and obviously he was the number 1 running back and did very well, at least from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah.
But Jalen Samuels, when he had to start, actually put up like running back 2 numbers.
Yeah.
So they've still got running back depth, despite losing one of the best running backs in the league. They've still got a little bit of wide receiver depth with Juju Smith-Schuster, Dante Moncrief, James Washington, and Deontay Johnson in there.
I guess so, but
They've got currently 10 wide receivers on their preseason roster. So I think they're a perfectly capable offense still.
they're capable, but
I mean, the thing is, they also have a really good offensive line. And
Say again.
they have really good offensive line.
They do, and they still have that offensive line.
Right.
Their defense still has a lot of stout guys that they've had for a while. Nobody here that's like, nobody here to like start talking about Hall of Famers about necessarily.
No.
But just from top to bottom, this defense is solid. I think they're a top 10 team in both categories.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about defense. It might be up and down for them there, but you never know until the actual season. Especially.
I don't think this defense will necessarily be consistent, but I think by end of season they'll be a top 10 defense.
Yeah, there's only you can only look at like certain defense and say they're a top 10 defense. Look at the Bears; they're gonna be a top 10 defense.
Yeah, top 10 defense, no question.
I'm trying to think
a lot of
who
times
else
you can see the big names that make it a top 10 defense.
Yeah, I mean the Bears have so many people.
Yeah.
from drafting
No,
and then
the
trade.
Bears have a chance to. They'll be a top. Might even be the best defense in the league.
Yeah. But I mean they were last year.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else is there to talk about for now. I don't think there's anything. Any football? Any other sports
There
news?
isn't a huge amount of news coming out of training camps at the moment. I'd say the last thing to talk about, if we're going to talk about like the teams and whatnot. So obviously, with the rosters being shuffled around, it'll be interesting to see, like how some of these divisions end up playing out with some of the changes that were made. For example, does the AFC West become a 3-team race with the Raiders improving?
No.
I don't think so, but that's just kind of something I'm throwing out there.
I
But
don't see that.
really, what I want to talk about in that case, it's not so much the improving teams and what that'll mean, because we see that all the time. It seems like hard rebuilds are becoming more common in the NFL. Usually, the NFL, like, you try to win as many games as you can, you end up sucking whether you were trying to or not. But like, for example, like the Dolphins feel like they're just outright rebuilding. And that's not something you see too much in the NFL, I feel like.
I feel like the NFL doesn't really work compared to other sports because you just need so many players. Like, also, I mean, baseball, you can rebuild because you just trade for a bunch of prospects. Hockey, it works as the same thing, just trade for a bunch of prospects. Basketball, you only need like 5 really good guys. So if you tank for the number 1 pick, you're
Also,
fine.
there's
But
the G
football,
League.
right? Yeah, sure. But
Sure.
but for football, you need 22 players, and it's hard when you just tank. And
Yeah.
sure, you get the number 1 pick, but even if it's a quarterback, it's going to be huge. But you need to build an offensive line around him, receivers, and then you actually need to get someone on the defensive side of the ball. So it's
Yeah.
hard to do a full-on rebuild in the NFL.
And like tanking means people are going to get hurt more often, which probably wouldn't look very good. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm kind of like, that's why it intrigues me. The Dolphins in particular intrigue me because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dolphins roster looks like a rebuild roster, and that's
Oh, it looks awful.
that's really rare in the NFL to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see pure rebuild rosters all that often. So
I mean,
like,
look at the
what do you guys make of that? The new rebuild stuff.
I mean, I think it really is like if you're the bottom of the bottom, like the Raiders or the Dolphins. I mean, also this is my argument why they'll never be good. But no, it's just you look at the teams and they're like, we have nothing. We have a couple of good stars. Let's trade away for as many draft picks as possible. It works sometimes. You can get lucky in free agency. But you trade away people like the Dolphins traded Jay Ajayi for a 3rd-round pick. Like, why did they do that? Because they're trying to get anything they can for what they have.
Yeah.
It's just they're trying to get any bit of asset and then try and get lucky in the draft.
And like the Raiders,
I mean,
Raiders did it last year. The Dolphins are doing it this year. Like it's becoming a trend that every year there's at least one team rebuilding.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's-
just not used to it.
It's really hard to draft players because there's so much more potential for busting on players.
That's
As,
true.
like, you go to the NBA, you like the first pick is almost always going to be amazing.
The NFL draft is the biggest crapshoot in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's baseball, but that's very different.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
I thought players just
Yeah,
appeared
yeah.
out of nowhere.
No,
baseball-
they do a
I'm
draft.
kidding.
It's just not as like highly televised.
Yeah, baseball's a different. But I know what you're trying to say with the football. Like,
Yeah,
your draft guys are supposed to give you an immediate impact. Where in baseball, it's like you draft a guy who could be great in 5 years.
yeah. You need to develop a guy a lot of the time when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, like the number 1 pick in baseball, you might not see him for 3 or 4 years. But the number 1 pick in football, you're expecting him to be on the field day 1.
Yeah, or at least
Unless
be a
he's
storyline.
man.
Yeah.
Like Mike Trout, potentially the greatest baseball player of all time, was drafted, I believe it was 25th.
Something like that. 1 pick ahead of the Yankees. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the Yankees didn't have a draft pick that early. But that's just it. I think the Yankees actually won the World Series that year. That's why. But still, the point is, like, this kind of deliberate rebuilding strategy is new, and I kind of like it. I've always been kind of like, if you're going to be bad anyway, you might as well succeed at being bad.
Yeah, I agree. Like when the Rangers go into hockey now, when they came out a few years ago, or like 2 years ago, and said, listen, we're gonna suck for a few years, but because like gonna be for the greater good of the franchise. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. But like then someone did that. I think Mark Cuban said that in basketball, and all the analysts were like, oh, this is stupid because now how are you supposed to get people to pay for tickets? I'm like, dude, if I'm a fan of a team, I don't mind sucking for 2 or 3 years and having a really good team rather than just being mediocre for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to watch basketball, so I'll watch it anyway, I went to a Nets game a couple years ago, and they were awful.
Yeah,
Matt goes
they were.
to Jets games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are.
And
It cost me $15 to go to a Jets game.
and if people are really worried about franchises losing money because they're bad, I point you to the perpetual terribleness that is the New York Knicks and the perpetual money making that the New York Knicks make. They are the most valuable franchise in the NBA, and they have been for decades.
Okay, I'm pretty
and
sure
they've
that's
sucked
just because of
for a
the
decade.
goddamn arena.
I mean, maybe, but still, it's like that means
It's
there's
up to New
something
York.
other than being good that makes them money, because they suck and they still make money.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think that's a valid concern a lot of the time.
And if you're sure, you might lose ticket revenues slightly over the few years, but honestly, as like I know when the Yankees a few years ago when they didn't suck but they were mediocre, the ticket prices went way down. So I was like, oh, I can go to more games because I'm only paying
Yeah.
25 to see the Yankees play rather than paying like 40 or 50. So
Earlier
I-
this season, I paid a total of $80 for amazing tickets to a Mets game that me, Kat, and her brother went to.
but the Mets sucked at that point.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, rebuilding. If you're a true fan, then you're gonna go to games no matter how bad your team is.
yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough for that. Let's
Yeah.
get to the essay question.
I don't like essay questions.
I don't like Sean's essay question.
I do
What's wrong with it?
I do
Matt
math
doesn't
and
know
chemistry.
video games.
I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
Okay,
I
if you
know
had to date,
sports
no,
video
Matt,
games.
be quiet. This is the essay question. If you had to date any NFL player, who would it be?
If I had to date one,
Yeah, if you had to go, marry, fuck, kill 3 NFL players. Matt,
for
go
Christ's
first.
sake. I mean,
Matt,
Wait,
okay.
any 3 NFL players?
any 3 NFL
Yeah.
players. If you had to
All right,
fuck one,
well,
kill one,
kill's-
marry one.
Kill's easy. Tom Brady.
Yes.
Do you have a kill?
I think I'd marry JJ Watt. He seems like he's
Obvious
nice guy.
choice.
Um,
No, you had to fuck one.
Jimmy G's an attractive man. I'll go Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
he's
Get the STDs from the
Attractive
porn
man.
stars.
a pretty guy. He's a pretty dude.
He is a pretty guy. isn't
Sean,
that?
go.
Oh man. So you're gonna hate me for this, Matt, but I'm marrying Tom
Yeah, well-
Brady.
Oh, fuck off.
Here's why.
I,
He's the
Sell the
richest
rings,
current
divorce.
NFL player, and face it, he's attractive.
No.
he's not attractive as he used to be, though. See, I'm getting the young Jimmy G guy.
Maybe.
You're just fucking him. He's marrying Tom.
Oh, you're
All
right.
right. How about this? I do hate Tom Brady, and maybe I'm just gold digging.
Hey,
So,
fuck him.
Let's let's go with this. I would kill Tom Brady, so I'll marry Drew Brees instead, because he's also
Okay.
one of
Oh,
the richest.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Good
So I'm
choice.
gonna marry Drew Brees. I'm gonna kill Tom Brady. And I don't know. I gotta who's got the best booty in the NFL? You know who's got a nice booty? What's it?
Jason
No. JJ Watt.
Really?
You're taking my husband?
That's a fuckable man right there.
Matt, I think we have a problem here. I think we'd both married JJ Watt.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to marry JJ Watt.
I mean,
he's like rich.
he's a
he's
golden
up people.
retriever. He
Yeah,
loves
I'm-
donating
I'm-
people.
See, I'm not marrying JJ Watt. I'm fucking JJ Watt.
I know, you're a bitch. You
Our husbands,
Fucking
Sean,
cuck.
really? You're trying to ruin our marriages?
cucking us. You goddamn bastard. So
Listen, he's got a nice booty. He's got a nice booty.
I would I don't know who I'll kill. Jerry Jones.
Hey, I thought we were just doing players.
I don't give a fuck. I don't kill.
You still kill him anyway.
I don't give a fuck. Jerry Jones. Oh God, his attitude. Or
Just his attitude. That's it.
maybe Cam or Von Miller, because of their attitudes, just like in clothing style, like ugh. Like
Okay.
think about it.
Okay.
And then
And who are you fucking?
I might be leaning Cameron Jordan because his picture is staring at me.
Just because of that damn like handlebar mustache.
Dude, no, it's his eyes. Look at the picture and look at his eyes.
Yeah, that's a. I'm gonna kill you in 5 minutes.
There's
eyes.
intent in those eyes.
Yeah,
Okay?
intent to murder you.
Well, hate, fuck, murder, necrophilia, one or the other,
Oh
or
my
fucking.
God.
Okay. I might fuck who else? Like, I'm trying to think. Actually, who would I? If I had to fuck any NFL player, who would it be?
The Dolphins cheerleaders.
Nathan Pearman,
Just
because he's a bitch.
The Dolphin.
Wait, what'd you say?
Nathan Peterman, because he's a bitch.
Oh yeah, he would be a bottom for what it's worth.
What a bitch.
High key bottom.
High key. I mean, without a doubt. Holy shit.
Imagine if he listens to this and he just hears this.
Just like, I'm gonna listen to this random podcast.
Bruh, he knocks on Joe's door and he goes, "I'll prove to you I'm not a bottom."
And then he's just standing there crying. Like, what the fuck?
Why'd you say that about me?
Why? So what? I like to throw picks.
Listen, in all fairness, Nathan Peterman is richer than all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many career interceptions does he have versus career touchdowns?
Nathan. I actually watched some plays of him, and most of the interceptions are kind of unfortunate. He's 3-12.
One of the things I find impressive about him, when he had a 6 interception game, he actually had a better QBR in that game versus like another game where he just also sucked. Like the fact he throws 6 interceptions and 0 touchdowns, and it's not your worst QBR game ever. That's pretty impressive.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that speaks more to the fallacy that is the QBR stat than it does Nathan Peterman.
True.
What do you think his average QBR is?
0.
32.5.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
32.5.
Damn.
He went to Tennessee and Pittsburgh.
Wait, and Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, these are the previous teams he played for. What you're saying?
No, this is where college.
For college, yeah. He went to
he
went to good colleges.
He went to 2 colleges. Why did he go to 2
He
colleges?
transferred.
Oh.
Not at the same time, Sean.
Yeah, I just it seems odd to me that he would transfer. I guess as a quarterback, quarterbacks typically don't.
Say that to how about the
yeah.
last 3 Oklahoma quarterbacks that got drafted number 1 overall?
Fair.
The last 2, my bad.
I don't know. The most famous one I can think of is like Troy Aikman, but there were some circumstances there.
What about Kyler Murray? What about
I'm talking like
Baker Mayfield?
meaningful, already meaningful quarterbacks.
What about Jalen Hurt or whatever his name
And
is?
typically they transfer to like better schools. Did Peterman start at Tennessee or did he start at Pitt?
Yeah, he started at Tennessee.
He started at Tennessee and he went to Pitt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that seems like a downgrade to me. Did he do it for playing time?
Probably.
I think so.
Well, I've learned something new today.
Yeah, a bitch is always gonna be a bitch.
He literally joined a worse team because he couldn't play for the good one.
Exactly.
Yo, I feel like you never actually answered the question.
J.J. Watt, Jerry Jones, Nathan Peterman.
You are sticking with Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
he's a bitch.
Yeah, that doesn't. Okay.
Joe is a top. He needs a bottom.
I am an Aries, Matthew. Hear my fire sign.
Oh my god.
It's funny to Sean because he actually completely understands that. I think Matt's kind of like, what does that really mean? Like, he understands Aries
Cat
and
shows
shit.
me. Cat shows me enough fucking memes of that fucking star sign bullshit.
Astrology?
Yes, that.
Yeah, there's someone in my lab who likes astrology. And it's amusing sometimes.
If Kat's listening to this, I want her to know I think astrology's stupid.
Why would Kathy listen to this?
Because I'll probably send her a link at some point.
It's like, listen to
Okay.
me and three idiots talk about shit for a while. And
Yeah.
And if you
I know you
add
don't care
that
about sports,
on
but
your
skip to
data
this
one.
point where I talk about astrology. She'll be like, ooh, okay. Skips to it. Babe, astrology's stupid.
Really sucks.
hear my fire sign roar. I am the great Aries goat. Hear me, bah.
Joe, if I could slap you, I would.
Well, good thing I'm
It's only like a 2-hour drive. It's not that
It's
bad.
only 3 hours
Drive 2 hours, slap him, go home.
Is
Hey,
that,
you're
is
back
that
to
not
the
worth it?
podcast.
Not quite feasible there, Matt. No.
So yeah,
It's
that was
feasible. You'd be home by like 11:30.
Listen, let me put it this way. I don't actually think that's worth it.
ouch. Okay. So
You know what that was, Joe? No. You know what that was, Joe?
a joke.
A metaphorical slap.
Oh, ow.
Did you get closer to your microphone for that, Sean?
No.
Yes, I did. I did indeed.
Okay,
That's what it
just-
sounds like when you get close. Listen.
Yeah.
to this.
The whole
I'm
point of
getting
this thing is
real
that it's
close
supposed to be a
now.
decent distance from me because it's super sensitive. If I
Wow.
got too close, hang on. You ready for this?
No.
I'm very close.
Okay.
Fear me.
That's not very nice. That's why I'm starting to get real close. How's it sound?
Yeah.
A little bit ASMR.
See, I'm definitely more of a let's take in the environment kind of microphone guy. You and your fucking Blue Yeti.
Yeah, man. Let's go. So
Actually, am I the only one who's not really into AS?
it's stupid.
Okay, it's not just me then. Good.
So let's talk about who do you think the other people in our leagues are keeping?
A lot of them are probably decided.
I don't think many people have looked at the rosters. I'll be honest.
No.
How many keepers? Did we agree upon 3 keepers?
4
I thought it was
keepers.
4. Yeah, it's 4. Didn't
Okay, yeah, sure, that number. Well, okay, my biggest problem right now is Melvin Gordon. Because I want to keep Melvin Gordon, but if he's not playing in the NFL, then what's the point?
Dude, he's not
Yeah.
gonna be kept. I'm sorry. He's out.
He's gonna end up on a team because he's like a Pro Bowl caliber guy.
Dude, they've been giving all the handoffs to Eckler in the preseason so far. Like
He's
they're,
not gonna.
like,
I don't
really
think he's gonna
happy.
be on the Chargers.
Yeah.
I can tell you who I'm keeping because it should be pretty obvious.
You are
I haven't looked
keeping. Let's see. Marlon Mack.
No.
I knew it.
I knew it. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Doug Baldwin, Alvin, Todd, Ty.
You can do it.
Julio.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. You got him.
But Ty is completely dependent on if Andrew Luck's in or not.
But he is. He's
Andrew
a season
Luck's
removed from being hurt.
Yeah, Andrew just had that one really good injury. I mean, besides that, he's been healthy as.
He's been hurt
T-
this offseason.
Not enough where he's gonna miss any games though.
Okay.
He's really just been rehabbing the same injury that he's had, which he performed with fine last year. So T.Y. Hilton and Julio Jones are wide receiver, potentially top 10, both of them. Alvin Kamara is the clear number 1 in New Orleans, and was a top 5 running back last year when he had another like high talent guy next to him. So with the second half of that downgraded, there's zero reason not to keep Alvin Kamara. And then Todd Gurley, talent-wise, is the best running back in the National Football League. It's just an injury that might be nagging him.
Yeah, but no one else has set their keepers yet. But I'm worried
Nobody at
about
all.
me with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Like, apparently they did offer him a generous contract along with Amari and Dak, but like everyone's like, just pay the guy. Like he's the best player in the team. And people are like,
Yeah.
they don't need Dak. They just need Amari and no, they don't need Zeke. They only need Amari and Dak. And people are like, what the hell is wrong with you? So
It's funny though. It looks like a lot of people are, including you, Joe, are like dropping people ahead of time for whatever reason.
just one other person did it.
Yeah, it's you. Oh yeah, it is just one other person. Never mind.
Yeah.
But it's you and
Do you
Marlena.
still have Jacobs as your keeper? Do I still have to remove Jacob?
Hey. That's completely within law so far. You
No,
can
it's
change
not.
it, send a message out. Just give me a player in return.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Remember how last week you picked up Jacobs? The guy
Josh
who was
Jacobs?
a rookie?
Oh, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't keep him, dude.
Yeah.
Can't
No,
keep him.
I'm allowed. But
I don't care.
I'll
Bruh.
drop him if you give me Marlon Mack.
You really?
Sean, do it.
Yeah, sure.
Wait 1 minute. Let me check something first. Let me see if there's anything else that you guys have that I would actually like.
I mean, Mac was decent, but sure, Gus Edwards is probably a better keeper. Probably not actually.
They have.
But no, like the whole point of keepers is to keep a guy you had last season.
Yeah, Joe.
Picking up a rookie and keeping him is not what the point of keepers is.
Give me Todd Gurley.
No.
Why not?
Gee, I wonder why. You have like enough guys that you could potentially keep. Zeke's a definite keeper.
I'm keeping Zeke, Michael Thomas, and Tyreek. Those are the three.
Yeah.
Why
Evan
would
Ingram
you
is your last
not
one.
fucking
Evan
keep
Ingram
him?
is a number 2 target, possibly a number 1 target for the Giants.
But still, there's so tight ends are the one thing like why waste a pick when the average draft position for Evan Ingram is the 6th round.
I mean, you're basically using him as your 4th round pick. And that was last year. He actually had a pretty good season. He was a top 5 tight end, if I remember correctly.
He was 12.
He was 12? Oh, right. He was hurt.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Like, there's so many other players that I could pick up that I'm not dropping him because I don't want to.
So you cannot keep Josh Jacobs, and we're not giving you any. I'll give you Terrence Fede. That's my last one.
Who?
I'll give you
Terrence-
Marlon Mack. I don't care. Marlon Mack's not one of my keepers.
Let's go league and rosters. Matt, I'll take Jason Myers.
Now, Matt,
Nope.
you've
That's
got
not-
3 very obvious keepers.
Would
I
Schuster,
Dalvin,
you're
Stephon,
definitely keeping.
Juju?
Yes.
McCaffrey, you're definitely keeping. Stephon Diggs, you're definitely
No,
keeping.
he has Caffrey, Cook, Diggs, and Gordon. But Gordon is a bit.
Melvin
Yeah,
Gordon?
Yeah.
It just depends on if he gets the contract or not.
Well, no. Smith Schuster's is one of his keepers, no question.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
it's not going to be Cook. If anything, it's going to be Melvin Gordon over Cook. But that depends on whether or not he gets rostered.
Yeah, well, I mean, my 2 obvious ones right now are McCaffrey and Juju, and then I have to figure out the other 2.
Matt, I'll give you Adam Vinatieri for Melvin Gordon.
No.
Would you stop?
Final option, Lamar Miller.
I
might just keep Miller at this point.
Lamar Miller. I mean, he has the potential. He really
Now,
does.
Here's a question.
And so-
what do you think Alex is going to keep? Because he's got some
Johnson,
choices to make. David Johnson's
Mike
absolute.
Evans.
Yeah. So his first 2 seem obvious, but from there, like, Kenyon
No,
Drake.
not AJ. Carry-on Johnson.
Oh yeah, he had him in his IR at the end of the season. AJ Green is going to miss a lot of it, so I don't keeping him. Yeah, actually, Carry On Johnson, somebody he should keep. So there's 3, but from there it's like, okay, there's Tyreek Cohen, who's the number 1 in Chicago now. Leonard Fournette, but he's been injury prone, and I don't even think Jacksonville likes him. Kenyon Drake, Miami, no. And Corey Davis is young, showed a couple flashes of talent, but So I think that's an interesting conversation.
You have him guest star and talk about it.
Say again.
Yeah.
So we have him star and talk about it.
I mean, well, who do you think he should take or he should keep?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Alex.
Alex?
Ego deflators. Yeah.
I don't see it. Sorry, I forgot what the roster was.
David, Evans, Carry On,
Probably, because he's got the young upside.
Yeah.
Fournette.
You think Fournette? He's got the most talent out of all those guys, but I just worry about
who else does he have?
Tyreek Cohen's going to see a big usage rate increase.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I would. Why not? Who's
They picked up a guy in the second round or something like that. And Tariq, they said, is our receiving guy.
But who else do they have on the roster? Like the
They
Chicago
picked a
roster
guy.
doesn't have another running back to use.
They have David Montgomery.
Okay.
It's their big guy. Like they said, they want a guy like Kareem Hunt in the draft. A guy that can
So
do
they're
a bit of
just gonna
everything.
start this guy? Okay.
I mean, he has the
Cohen-
opportunity.
Cohen did great last year.
Yeah, I feel like Cohen's gonna end up being the guy, at least fantasy wise, for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, at least to start the season. Maybe look at this other guy later in, but
Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
don't
go
see
to Team Spineless because they have less.
oh gosh, she was terrible.
Marvin, no. Levy,
Ravion,
Brant. Let's go to the next team.
No,
'Cause
I mean, I think there's a couple of people who she ends up keeping. Cooks had a good season. Amari Cooper had a great end of the season. She's got Le'Veon Bell rostered. She used him last year. He's an eligible keeper.
yeah, but she didn't drop him and pick him up. And Joe, you can't keep.
Joe.
Ew.
So I think she's got three keepers right there. It's just a matter of who she uses her fourth one on. Really, she should use it on a running back, but she doesn't really have a running back to use it on. Like what?
Isaiah
LaShawn
Crowell.
McCoy? No, thank you.
What about Isaiah? The guy that's injured for the rest of the season.
What? Isaiah Crowell?
You man?
No.
Amazing. No? Okay. No,
The
she
Eagles
is
signed
she is
Isaiah
nothing.
Crowell?
Say again.
Yeah, Matt, what?
You said the Eagles signed Isaiah Crowell?
No. The Jets the Oakland does, but he's injured for the season.
Yeah, okay.
I heard we. That's what I was. Never mind. Sorry, continue.
Okay, let's skip her completely because she has Le'Veon Bell.
I think she has three definite keepers.
Who? Le'Veon Cooks. Who?
Le'Veon Cooks and Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you gotta keep the way Cooper played in Dallas. You gotta keep him.
Then
Yeah,
probably
when he got to
also
Dallas.
Marvin Jones in that case.
No, three receivers. Why?
Well,
Yeah.
who else does she have?
Who's her tight end?
Keenan Allen, maybe. Jimmy
Jimmy
Graham was her
Graham.
tight end. Greg Olson is her other one.
They're
Yeah,
both
none.
old. Who's her quarterback?
Andrew Luck, maybe.
I would actually consider keeping Luck.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
because
Out of everyone
statistically,
there.
we're jumping into the spot where, what's it called? We're going to have to draft quarterbacks in the first round with 4 keepers.
No, I'm still not doing that.
Like, if depending on who's there, I might, to be honest.
I don't think I would.
No,
Okay.
I'll pick up another starting position player first for my flex spot.
Okay, who's
Yeah,
next?
definitely.
Too lazy for this.
That's Darius. I mean Barkley. Duh.
Barkley,
Yeah. You don't
Uh,
think he's gonna-
Kelsey,
Travis Kelsey. Yeah, you know what? I agree.
Devon Freeman.
No.
I mean, now they lost Coleman, so I mean, he's the only guy there now, so I would consider.
Yeah.
Edo Smith.
But I'm looking at Philip Lindsay and Odell.
Okay.
Okay, I guess.
I mean, I would definitely consider.
He is a good team. I'll be honest, based on.
Lindsay
Whoops.
versus Freeman is really the only debate for me.
But he needs to keep Travis Kelsey.
I think so. Having that good a tight end is really valuable. I agree. I think
Yeah.
that's a good keeper.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Allentown Heroes, Ben.
I think he has to keep Patrick Mahomes. I think
He
it's a
has
must
to.
keep
Yeah, you do.
Mahomes.
because you know that's going to get scooped up first round if you don't keep him.
Ertz.
Ertz, nah, I don't think anybody outside of like the top 2 tight ends are worth keeping.
Devontae Adams. Yes.
Maybe
Who's another receiver in
Green Bay. Yeah, if he's the number 1 target for Aaron
You kidding
Rodgers,
me?
yeah,
St.
maybe.
Brown, dude.
So I mean, I'm looking at where is he? I actually think you're right, Devontae Adams, but I'm also thinking DeAndre Hopkins is a must keep.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
So-
I didn't see him.
Yeah. So Hopkins, Mahomes, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp was great for the Rams last year when he wasn't hurt.
He hurt his ACL.
I think it was his ACL. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
He's really young and really good already, but he's been hurt twice in his young career already.
Maybe Damian Williams. Maybe.
And I don't think he has the talent.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe just because of the offense he's with.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like the starter, Kansas City. But Carlos Hyde's taking reps.
He's got a pair of Cleveland running backs. Neither of them are worth considering, I don't think.
Suspended.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, he might have to keep 3 wide receivers because I wouldn't keep any of his running backs.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
Actually, you know what? I think that makes the argument for Ertz that much stronger.
Really?
Yeah, I think you keep Hopkins, Ertz, Devontae Adams, and Patrick Mahomes in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe he won the championship with his roster. Jesus.
You're
He
bad.
won?
Listen, he wouldn't have if I had started Cam Newton once. I'm still frustrated about
Man, you suck at this.
Wait,
it. I was in the championship.
Hey, I had my own thing happening at the time.
Ben won our championship? I forgot that.
Yeah, it was me versus Ben. He beat me by like 4
Dude, you got
points.
third place, Matt.
I got third place.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Oh, look at that.
Look at me. Look at me. I got a medal.
Oh
Good
my
for
god.
You. I think
Okay, no
3 of us are going to
worry.
be top 3 guys. I think we got this shit this year. The football fuckers are going to be in the top 3.
I can make myself number 1 if I wanted.
Wow. What a jerk.
Nah, man. We're the
But I don't
football
want
fuckers,
to.
by the way. That's what FFF stands for.
I was wondering what the third F was.
We're the football fuckers. No, fantasy football fuckers.
There
Yeah,
you
I'm
go.
not
You
even
did it.
listening to F.
I added the extra F, guys. But I want to schedule our draft. It's
Yeah, we
gonna
do
be-
need to schedule that. We don't actually have it scheduled yet.
Yeah. I think that Wednesday, August 7th at 8 p.m. is good. Don't tell Alex.
What? Why not?
Wednesday, August 7th.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh.
Considering today is the 7th at 7:46.
It's in 13 minutes, guys. Hope you're ready.
It's in 13 minutes. Get ready. Don't tell Alex. What?
Yeah, you're also supposed to set your keepers an hour before the draft, so...
No, our league, our fantasy football fuckers draft.
Oh, the 4-person one. Okay.
Yeah, no, like we have to schedule that shit. So tomorrow is the first day of preseason.
No, it's not.
Why are the Eagles playing?
There was the Hall of Fame game already.
But why are the Eagles playing?
The
The
Jets and
first
Bears
day
are
of
playing
all the fans of fucking, not just the fucking Hall of Fame shit.
tomorrow. What do you have against the Hall of Fame, Joe?
That's fucking stupid. Brian Dawkins didn't get in until his second ballot.
Oh, terrible.
My favorite fucking
Someone's
player ever.
salty.
So-
You know, a lot of players don't get in the first ballot, right? Like, only the true legends do.
Brian Dawkins is a fucking legend.
Do you really think he's like Ray Lewis level of legendary?
I love him. He was my guy growing
You
up.
can love him. Is he
Love
Ray
him,
Lewis
but,
level of?
Dude, when I was watching in 2003,
No,
2004
no,
area,
you're ignoring the question.
fuck the fucking Hall of Fame game. There's the question. Fuck it.
That's not a question, nor is it an answer to mine. You know we didn't do Marlena's team, right?
It's still it's probably shit.
Robert Woods, Antonio Brown, James Conner, probably Baker Mayfield as a keeper.
How should you not win?
Because that was basically all she had.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
She's dropped everybody at this point.
Okay, yeah. So let's go. Tomorrow's the first real week. That's week 1. Then next week is week 2. Week 3. Let's do it on the 28th. The Wednesday before week 4 preseason, none of the starters are playing. So they won't get injured.
True.
Unless you're Rex Ryan, you play your starters in the fourth quarter. But I'm assuming it should be fine.
So 12 a.m. sounds good, boys?
No.
What?
7 p.m.
Yeah, that should be fine.
I can probably do 7 p.m.
Picks per second. Seconds per pick.
700.
120 it is. We talking.
That's fine. 2 minutes.
Draft order manually set by league manager.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Ooh, allowed draft pick trading?
Wait, for our league, for the 8-person league, should I manually set it to whoever finished last?
Yeah.
Should get the first pick. All right, I'll do that this year.
Who came in last?
I would assume Sarah.
I don't know, dude. I kind of tanked at the end.
Yeah, I mean, but her number 1 pick was out the entire year, so I don't know.
Hang on, I can check.
Let's go to this.
It was Joe. Joe was in last.
Yes! Tanked it, boys.
Joe was 2-11. Sarah was 3-10, and technically came in 6th instead of 7.
Who came?
Marlena was in last in our division, despite going 6 and 7.
Oh no, I'm doing it based on.
It should be on record, right?
It is, yeah. I'm doing it based on record.
Oh, she also played against. I think there were also like last place matchups.
Maybe.
Because there's 2 people with a better record than Marlena who are technically placed high.
Where do you check that? League?
If you go to standings, I'm on my desktop. If you go to standings and then change the year to 2018.
2-11. Ooh. Ooh,
Yep.
Let's go.
Ben and I were tied for the top record and legitimately played stupidly close in the championship.
I honestly forgot Ben won our championship.
I actually won the first year, or 2017, which I don't think 2016 was our first year, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And when Rich was still in the league,
at the time. Oh wait, I came in 3rd. Then 2017, I came in 2nd.
To me!
2018, last place. 2019,
Yo.
I'm pretty sure I'm a win this year.
I forgot that in 2017, a total of 3 of us, and it was us 3, by the way, had winning records.
Wow.
Darius
was
was 500 with a tie. Everyone else had a losing record.
Wow.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So wait, who? So we have 6 original members, and then we lost Rich and Dan, right? And
I think
No,
we
we actually
Dan
had an 8-team league.
Yeah.
Right. But then
there's 6 original members remaining. Yeah.
Oh, I
we
get
got more
first overall
diverse.
pick.
Sarah joined in 2017 and replaced Rich, and then Marlena joined in 2018 and replaced Dan.
Yes.
So close to repeating. I'm so upset.
And I think next week we're going to talk about what a Dynasty League is.
Sure.
Because I do want to do Dynasty League with our main league as well. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I think so. The format's just so different that we would have to change things up.
I mean,
we can talk about it. We could definitely talk about it.
There'll be like it's so stale, but so more intense because you also draft rookies. It's just oof.
Yeah, but you got to put them in a dynasty slot, so then you have to choose between them and like the future of the dynasty versus competing for that year.
Yeah.
Which I think is what really makes it fun. That's when the management comes in.
Yeah, it's like you actually have to use your brain when it comes to that. Like you could trade away people and trade for picks and so on. Like you could I'm trading my first pick to this guy to get his good player here.
But there's like a limited number of roster slots too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But that can wait till next week.
Yeah, I think that concludes it for this podcast. Have a nice. I don't know what time. I don't know what day this is going up. Bye.
Hope you didn't fuck up this recording, Joe.
Hopefully, you guys don't mind an Aries yelling at other people who are less
Motherfucker.
assertive.